Hello, well, it is about 20 past 3 on Sunday the 18th of May. It's not been a very great weekend for getting things done. My right knee has been playing up and I'm trying to be careful with it. It could be bursitis. I know when I did it on Thursday I was kneeling down in a car park and on some rough ground and I felt my knee go ooh. And then on Friday I was losing mobility and on Saturday I was barely mobile. So on Saturday I pretty much did not much at all. I did a bit of planning and a bit of computer work. Anyway, we have just been to the Wisbech polish shop, one of the polish shops. Although it's Polish, it's Lithuanian, it's all sorts. This is going to be our lunch here, or part of it. We're not eating this whole bag of sausage. Some of that's going to work, some of that will be frozen for later. The roast salad and herring and beetroot mayonnaise salad. A few fresh goodies and some rye bread. And I can't really see it back there, but we got a bunch of pickles. We like the pickles. So we got some pickled cucumbers, of course, pickles. And some pickled chilies. And we have some little pickled zucchini type things, patty pans, but they're at home. And they have a great range of pickles. There's all sorts. I can't remember what else. I got another thing I think as well. Oh, and some purple sauerkraut. But anyway, we're going to wander up to the plot now. Just as we were looking at the bread, one of the staff brought out these freshly baked little buns. I don't know what they are. They've got some seeds in them. And they were warm and steaming and smelling beautiful. So that's been the car freshener on our little trip back to the village today. And this is out the front of the site. It's getting a bit overgrown right now. That's what I refer to as the burning pile just there. And then every year or two, one of the farmers, that's one of the councillors, comes and sets fire to it with a big digger nearby. And over there you can't really see it now, but there's an overgrown pile of all the trash, and occasionally we scavenge through that and find some bits and pieces. But yeah, that's this is the car park from the perspective of the car. Got a couple of cars next to us. There are some other people on the site, which is nice. We'll go get a little bit done. Not quite sure what today. We're going to probably look at mostly clearing the polytunnel. I've just got to try and make sure I'm doing stuff where I don't do much kneeling down or much carrying weight. But I was getting stir crazy just sitting in the house. So got to come and do something and get some progress in. Cat is watering these fruit plants we've got in pots at the moment. They're the ones we pulled out of the plot and are going to go in this bed here. And as I said in the car, not a whole lot happening this weekend. I'm hobbling around a bit. So this is starting to mark out beds, and that's basically going to be a fruit growing bed down there with that tree at the end. That's a plum tree. Not going to get much fruit on that this year. I pruned it in such a way that most of the fruiting when flowering has come off it, but it was massive. It was like almost twice that height, and I'm just trying to get it into a controlled shape, and we'll sacrifice its chances of fruiting this year as a result. So we had our Polish lunch on the plot, and I started doing some marking out. So this sort of starts to define what's going to go on here. So these are what I'm vaguely calling the pumpkin patches, or the Three Sisters beds, with the plan of them being pretty large, two large ones that kind of stretch almost to that fence there, and have beans, corns and pumpkins growing in them, and probably things like zucchinis, or courgettes as they call them here. And then there's one path up the middle of this, which I'm planning to have as a bean arch. So you can picture there being some sort of structure here with beans growing over it. That's the plan anyway. It's halfway through May already, so we really need to sort of get cracking. We're moving as fast as we can, all things considered, and injuries aside. So I'm standing in the middle of this Three Sisters bed at the moment. And then looking around this way, and that's going to be pallet collar based raised beds We're making them custom with the pallet collars I've been cleaning up. And you can kind of see the layout here. So there's going to be a wideish path next to the greenhouse there. And then there's a 1.2 meter wide bed, a 50 centimeter path, and another 1.2 meter wide bed in front of me, another 50 centimeter path, and another 1.2 meter bed. And so that's basically the three 1.2 meter wide beds. But then each of those beds is actually going to be broken in half with a 50 centimeter or so path down the middle. So you can see there's going to be a square there and a square there. Now originally these were going to be 1.2 meter squares, but I actually think we're going to make them 1.4 meters by 1.2 meters. Except for this one right here, which will shorten to 1 meter by 1.2, so that the pear tree is not in the middle of it. And these pears are really setting fruit at the moment. You can see that there. And that, you may recall a few videos ago, these were absolutely covered in blossom. This is pretty ridiculous. Obviously that's too many fruit for this tree, and the tree itself is dropping the fruit, and we'll see how that goes. And things are so dry, we're putting some water around our fruit trees just in case. The ground has gone, as it does, like dusty kind of concrete. It gets very solid around here. Still very little sign of my extra mustards. There's one there in the middle of the screen, and aside from that, there's that row down there. Well, there might be another one just sort of on the edge of that bed, but we'll put some new seeds in there or something, or we'll see. The potatoes are obviously coming up nicely there, and all of these leaf crops are generally doing really well. These winter density lettuce here have absolutely flown along, and that's basically waiting for a succession planting of carrots. So there's 2 rows of carrots down there, and there'll be a couple more to go in where the winter density is soonish. So we'll harvest them, but we have already picked a harvest as per the video. Multi-sown beetroot coming along nicely here. Onions not looking so good, but these onions at the end are actually looking a lot better. And we've actually got some beans forming on our broad beans and our field beans over there. But alas, our yuki cabbages have all gone to flower. So I think we won't bother. We've tried growing yukis 2 or 3 times. This being the 3rd, I think. We just give up on them. The Chinese cabbage, which is the total name of the cabbage as far as the seed packet goes, is so far behaving a bit better. So that's good. But yeah, so not a lot done this weekend. Such is life sometimes. I'm hoping that giving my knee a rest is going to be the right choice. And the big job we were supposed to get this weekend done was clearing the greenhouse and possibly even getting the tomatoes in, but that's not happened. And maybe during the week, or maybe next weekend. Next weekend is yet another long weekend. But for those of us in this region, it's also Cambridge Beer Festival weekend. But what's going to happen with that is we're going to do Thursday and maybe Friday at the festival, and then we will come back home and have the long weekend as such for the allotment. And it will probably pour down with rain. That would not be a bad thing all in all, though, to be honest. This ume tree here is really badly suffering. And I am going to resort to using a pyrethrin-based spray on it, I think. Not today. Someday, when it's less windy and as late in the day as I can make it. But it's not the happiest of trees. But, oh well. And the other ume does have a bit of that going on, but it is by far in a better state. You can see it's actually managed to grow some leaf, and not just have this happen to all of it. But okay, that's us done for today. Kat got some more wood chip spread down here, and is starting to get some definition on what's going to happen back here with the patio area, as we're calling it. bin of burning with a ring of bricks. We've actually got a kind of a flat burning platform bin. There's a word for it, I can't remember, which we're going to put there. And then we'll be able to put one of the higher bins in it if we're sort of actually just burning stuff off. But otherwise it will just be a nice broad fire pit, that's the word, that we can use for barbecues and stuff with that tripod we have. So this will be basically a big area that's just wood chip with a ring of bricks in the middle. We have plenty more bricks where they came from, all dug out of this plot. So the bricks are not something we have in short supply. And then there'll be a bench at the back there, where all that current junk is. But they're not the priorities. The priorities right now are growing spaces. And obviously this greenhouse is still a work in progress. But we'll get there. Cool. And I think that does us for today.